One of the important parts of the speech, your book, and also the speech, the final speech, most especially, you at some point you sang and you said, "I'm still standing." Yeah, yeah. Then you gestures to the audience. We're still standing, hoping that they will repeat it after you. And as luck will have it, they actually repeated that. That gave you two in one: vocal variety, and also the fact that you did a call and response. You were able to make the audience gesture and also sound, at least make some sound in response to that. My question is, were you in a choir? Is that a real song? and and how? Because I'm thinking, if I when I give my next speech, I would like to include something like that. So, what was the thinking behind that?
Actually, I did not expect the audience to respond that way. That was not my intention. That was not something that I had planned when I was writing the speech. I didn't say pause for audience response or pause for audience reaction. I was just saying, now we're still standing. I thought it was a moment to just speak to the audience there, but I never expected them to respond ever. And that's why when I said, "Oh, very nice," when I said that in the speech, it was because I was shocked. And I was like, "Oh, wow, they're here. We're connected. They like me." I did not plan that at all, but it was a moment of connection. And it was a moment that we shared together. And I feel like it was one of those moments that was the difference between myself and the other competitors that year. I was just able to connect by doing that. I'm not in a choir. I'm not a
Yeah.
singer. I have no aspirations to be a professional singer. I do enjoy karaoke every now and then, but that's
Yeah.
about it. But note to people who want to incorporate singing into your speech, be on key,
Yeah.
be a lot of people want to do the singing because it's different and it's creative, but if you don't sound good, it is going to ruin the speech because people are going to say, "Oh, well, I see what you tried there, but it doesn't sound good if you're not on key, if your voice cracks, if the notes aren't correct." So if you're going to sing, make sure you sound good.
Wow, thank you for saying that. I'm actually in the same boat with you. I'm not a professional speaker and singer, but then I also have instrument. I try to sing within the key,
Mhm.
and I can see that we'll have one comment here from my namesake. Actually, she said, "I love the song, by the way, and it added a special flavor to the speech."
Oh, thank you. That's
That's
she's been very supportive, so thank you. It's
thank
Tolu, right?
yes, yes,
Thank you.
that's it. That's right. Thank you for joining, Tolu. Okay. All right. So, in line with that explanation you just gave, for people like me that came from another country, Nigeria, I can imagine that I have to be careful with vocal variety, right? because I have an accent. My daughters will tell me every day, "Daddy, you have an accent." That's the, that's nothing I can do about it. So, for people like me that are not native speakers, so to say, what advice would you give on vocal variety?
Mm, well, I feel like my brothers and sisters from Nigeria, you already have a certain cadence that is rhythmic and
Hmm.
it flows. Your voice goes up and your voice goes down. Your voice goes up and your voice goes down. I wouldn't focus so much on the vocal variety as much as articulation, because when you're saying certain words, as someone who's not a native English speaker, there may be some challenges with distinguishing what you're saying. There, it was like you have to really enunciate and pronunciate and articulate certain words that may, if the back syllable of the word trails off, or if you say a word that's similar to another word and we perceive it as something else, we
Hmm.
may get lost trying to figure out what you're saying. So people who don't any like, I don't speak Spanish fluently. That's not my mother tongue. And so I have to be careful with my Spanish words because I may try to say something one way, but the way I enunciate a certain word, or if there is not a hyphen, a stress, and I
Yep.
forget stress, it is a different word.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
in any language, we just want to, any language that is not our native language, we just want to make sure we articulate and we stress the syllables that need to be stressed, and we get feedback from people who speak more fluent English to say, well, you tried to say mountain, but it sounded like you said mountain, and we don't know
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
mountain is. So I wouldn't focus on the vocal variety so much. It would be more articulation and pronunciation.
Good, good. Yeah.